Hey guys, I am going to talk about something that has been plaguing me for most of my life, and I came out on the other side of it, and so yeah. Welcome to my YouTube page. I'm Demi. I do everything personal development. It's something that I eat, sleep, and breathe, and so welcome. Today we are going to talk about enhancements and the breakthrough that I've been having when it comes to what an enhancement is and what manipulation is. If you look up the definition of those things, it's very clear. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys a story because I have evolved in a way that I feel like a lot of people can resonate with, so I'm going to share it. So, growing up, when I was, I think, in like middle school, I had a friend and she did makeup to go to school, like, like a little eyeshadow, whatever. And at the time, that was new to me, and me being allowed to do makeup, that like wasn't a thing. Like my mother's beliefs was kind of you don't need makeup, you're too young for that, and you don't need to do that. And so that was a part of my programming, right? So we moved to high school, and there's like prom and homecoming and stuff like that. And so it turned into a thing where, like, I would see my best friend do her makeup every single morning. And one day I was just like, can you do my makeup? And then it turned into like this thing where I wanted to have my makeup done, and she would do my makeup for me like every day. And then it turned into this thing where I would go over to her house. I would stay a night and we would go to school together, and we would ride the bus together or get dropped off together, and we were just like inseparable. And throughout that entire process, and now that I think about it now, it was just such a magical experience, because I always had great days when I was with her. It was always something about us getting up super early before school and just like pouring into ourselves and just like being girls and just being sweet, being kind to one another, and just putting our best outfits together. And then another thing also is like my best friend, she would always like put out her outfits for the next day and just like have all these cool little outfits. And I'm just like, wow. Like, and I didn't have, my mother, she didn't really care. My mom raised me more on like, designer, high-end things. And she bought all my outfits. I didn't really have like, I wouldn't say I didn't have any say, but it was just like, style and stuff and how to dress. It came naturally, but it was a little bit inauthentic because most of my wardrobe was based off of someone else's inspiration or, labels. Like it didn't even matter if the outfit was cute. It was, if it had the label on it, I was slapping it on, and that's how I grew up. And so my best friend, she grew up in a home where, labels didn't really matter. Long as you looked fly and you looked good, that's all that matters. And I bring that up to say, as I got older and, where I lived is a small city and it's not like a big city like I'm living in now. And I'm starting to become the person well, I actually started becoming the person. It was forced upon me because it just, one, When I moved, I had to get me a job. I became a server. And something that I noticed very, very quickly was the better I looked, the more money I made. And so, guess what I did? I learned how to do my makeup. Now, I didn't necessarily learn how to do my makeup to make more money. This is something that I've realized before I realized that I was making more money, right? It was more of like an afterthought, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, as I started getting better with my makeup and getting better with my appearance and looking put together, you made more money. It didn't make sense until after the fact. And so, yeah, I started at that time I was watching like level up content, um and like, what it means, and like I think someone said that just try it and see what you think about it. And then I found this girl, she had like a starter kit in her video, and so I just bought all the things, everything that she bought. She was the same color complexion as me and everything, so I just bought everything that she got, and I just got to work. And I'm the type of person, I'm naturally artistic, and so if I see something, I can do it. Like, and it's always been like that. And I think I get it from my dad. I don't know. I might get it from both sides of my family, but if I see something and I see how something's done, I can replicate it exactly like that. Like, if you tell me to paint something and like I watched a tutorial, I'll paint it and it'll look just like that painting. Or if I have to put something together and I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just take a look and I'll just do it, because it is just something about like the visual, like I can see it one time and I have it. And so that's kind of like how my gift works. I can see something, look at the engineering of it, like how did we get here? So for instance, I would just like follow a bunch of people to do makeup. Did I follow their page and their makeup tutorials? Not necessarily, no. I just kind of saw what all of the girls were doing. And doom scrolling and thing, but doom scrolling worked in my favor. And so I won't say that doom scrolling is bad, but doom scrolling can be beneficial if you work it correctly to what you're trying to learn and ingrain into your life as well. Yeah, so whenever I started doing that, and I started doing makeup every single day. I saw what the girls were doing. I saw how they were applying it. And then I was watching. And to 10x my results, I just decided to do it every single day because I was a server and I worked almost every single day anyway. So why not? And so when I did this, my confidence shot up the roof. But I didn't realize it at the time. And I say that to say, when you do something consistently, your confidence builds. That is how you build it. This is the way it works. This is the recipe. And you're going to get what you want as long as you stay consistent. And that is why I've been so consistent on my page. I believe that if you really going to do something, just do it every single day relentlessly. And that is something that I learned then. And so with enhancements, I grew up being the girl, in middle school and even a little bit in high school, saying like, you don't need makeup and blah, blah, blah. I was that girl that was telling people and yelling to the heavens, but it was because I didn't know why. I didn't have the information. I didn't have a mother who told me about level up stuff or tell me how to dress up like a woman, and that it's okay to wear makeup. Like when you were a cheerleader, they wear makeup because they have to, it's a look. And then it's also I will say it's a very magical process, because when I started doing my makeup, I feel better. It's something about pouring into myself. It's not even And I understand that, like, it's a difference in perspective, because my perspective had to shift from the girl who was in middle school, high school, didn't really understand, to the person who's in college and, in adulthood. I had a perspective shift. I saw content. I saw someone who talked about why and the results that they got from it, and curiosity. Those things is what made me make the change and the mental shift that I needed to make. And it takes so much energy to be a hater. A hater is like, so I just have to say that, because if you really do hate something or don't like something, I start to ask myself why, because of my level of awareness. Because sometimes it's just a silly reason. Sometimes it's simply because you just don't have enough information. And that's something that I've definitely learned. And so, to go back to enhancements. Enhancements are everywhere. It is not just the beauty industry. It is everywhere. The health industry, everywhere. Like prosthetics. Like, if you lose a finger or if you lose an arm, like, you gotta go to the doctor and get an enhancement. Right? They have to manipulate and find things and tools to make sure you get your arm so you can do what you need to do. Right? Manipulation means to have an effect on. That is it. Manipulation is not something that is like this evil thing that's going to kill you or cause destruction. Yeah, it's the energy behind it. So, I'm sure that the doctors that are creating and the engineers who are creating prosthetics for someone to have an arm are not creating from hate. So, when people are judging others because they want to enhance their life, also known as presenting yourself in the best way to the world, and to hate on that, I just don't think people have enough information. And that is my conclusion on the situation. This is on BBLs, this is on makeup, this is on the prosthetic, this is on medical procedures, this is on everything. You are allowed to do anything that you want to do. You are allowed to have an opinion. That is also okay. But what is not okay is not accepting others' opinion in the way they want to present themselves. So, yeah, because I used to be the type of person to judge and be like, no, you don't need makeup. Makeup is fake, and makeup, you are not you when you are wearing makeup. And I had a realization yesterday that I'm going to tell you guys. So, saying that about someone wearing makeup is like saying you can't go to the gym. That isn't authentic. What? And let me break it down even more. Like, you eating healthy, that's not authentic. You're trying to be someone you're not. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the goal? I'm sorry. That's the goal. You're going to the gym, and the goal is, either, there's so many goals with the gym, but you can lose weight, manage your weight, be healthy. There is nothing horrible about that. There's nothing horrible about makeup. It's the same exact thing, just in a different category or aesthetic. And I think this is very important realization, because A lot of people really don't understand how simple things really are and how they make it complicated by listening to the crazy things in their brain. Um, yeah, when you stop listening to your brain and you actually start using common sense, also known as just being in your body and seeing that, like, oh, this is crazy, or, a situation will happen into your life to where it humbles you. And with my makeup journey, I've decided I'm gonna wear makeup and I'm gonna dress up every single day because why wouldn't I present myself the best? Because ever since I've presented and put my best foot forward, there is almost 100% chance that I'm gonna have a great day. There is 100% chance that I'm gonna feel happy. There is 100% chance that good luck can just flow into my life naturally because I decided to pour into myself. When you decide to pour into you, that is the thing that becomes life changing. That is the thing that is like the quantum leaping, the manifestation. Whenever you get your things or get the man or get whatever, you are presenting yourself as the best candidate. Your emotional intelligence is on point. Your beauty is on point. You're doing the things that you need to do. To do it. And it doesn't even take a lot. But you spending that time with you in the morning and spending that time the night before, if you want to, can dramatically shift and change your life, how you feel about yourself, how you speak about yourself, which changes the way people treat you. And if you're curious, you should try it. Actually, try it. I'm not even going to say should. Try it and see what happens. Do it as an experiment on yourself and see what happens, like I did. Get dressed to the nine every single day, even if you're not walking out of the house, because that is your standard. And when you create the standard so high for you, there's no going back. There is no going back. That's something that's just not going to be in your reality anymore until you go to bed and then you wake up, you play your playlist, and you do it all over again because it's something that you love to do. If you really want to talk about self love, pour into yourself for 90 days and tell me how you feel. Do this. Don't care what gender you are. Do this. Look good. Dress good. And go outside. Get your hair done. Don't go outside looking like who, why, when. Get it together. Find a way. I don't care if you don't have the wigs. Do a slick back. I don't know. Do something. Figure it out. Get on YouTube and figure it out. Because it is something that is so important. Being a beautiful representative in your life is so important. And I'm not even saying that just to say it. This is something that I have lived. I have lived it. I've made so much money looking beautiful every day. And pouring into myself every moment that I can because I've been doing it for so long that if I am not doing it, it's like an alarm is going off in the world of Demi. Like, oh no, she didn't do this today. Oh no, something's going on. Like, That is how it is, and that's how it feels. It's like everything just drops when you don't do what you said you were going to do. And then the level of trust in you and just the way people treat it just is life changing. Um, so I say all that to say, if you're watching this, thank you for liking the video and thank you for being a subscriber. I appreciate you so much. And if you guys have not checked out my QR code on my community page, it is for my monthly snail mail where we talk about things like this, things like personal development, but it'll be a subscription that is coming out soon, and it's going to be a very small private group, and it's just monthly accountability, keeping yourself accountable, reminding you to do the work that you need to do on yourself, to remind you to focus on yourself, to remind you to stay consistent because that is what builds confidence. And I feel like this is the perfect recipe if you're someone who has been trying but nothing is sticking to the wall. And you just need some accountability. Like, you don't need a coach, you don't need these other things, or maybe you don't have it. This is like the best thing on God's green earth. That is just a simple reminder. You can go to your mailbox and open the package, and it has all of your inner work things that transform you into this person that you've always wanted to become. And it doesn't matter. You can use the work for any part in your life. It's pretty neutral in that way. Um, and inner work is really about pause. Inner work changed every area of my life. It doesn't matter what I focused on, whether I focused on love, money, health, whatever. Whatever I focused on, it like shifted other parts. So it doesn't matter where you start with this work, it is going to, it's like a domino effect across your life. It is a beautiful process. And so, yeah, if you're looking to pour into yourself monthly, definitely check out the QR code on my page. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.